Hey everyone, this is Hannah with the Rocket Miner giving you today's news update video. Today, once again, a lot of our news is related to COVID-19 and some updates from around the state and here locally. But I do have some news about some upcoming Christmas events that should be exciting. So I will save that for the end so that we can end on a positive note. I do want to go over the COVID numbers just a little bit. Today we have 739 new confirmed cases in Wyoming since yesterday. Today we're at 11,089 active cases in Wyoming. And actually this is down from the active case number yesterday. That's the first time I've seen it go down in weeks, quite a long time. That's the first time we've seen the active case number actually drop from one day to the next. I would point out that this is still obviously really high, and we obviously did still have a lot of new confirmed cases today, but I am glad to see that the active case number did go down a little bit. Hopefully that will start a downward trend that will just keep going until we can get back down, especially to more manageable numbers. Unfortunately, one of the numbers that did go up again today quite a bit was the death total for Wyoming for COVID-related deaths. 21 more deaths were reported today by the Wyoming Department of Health and added to the state's total, which brought that up to 176 total COVID-related deaths for Wyoming. Most of these 21 deaths were from Natrona County, and a lot of those were residents of a long-term care facility there, unfortunately. That was probably about half of the deaths that were added today. But there were some from other counties, and as I said, it was a total of 21 that were reported today. Unfortunately, some of those deaths were from Sweetwater County, and the Sweetwater County District Board of Health reported that our county has had 3 more COVID-19 related deaths confirmed. 2 of those were included in the 21 deaths reported by the Wyoming Department of Health. One of those deaths that was here locally was not reported by the state yet, so I'm sure it will be added soon, but the County District Board of Health did report that we have had 3 recent COVID deaths. Sweetwater County Public Health Director Kim Lineberger said that these 3 deaths now bring our county's total number of COVID-related deaths up to 7. 2 of the deaths that were reported today were residents of a local long-term care facility. There was a woman in her 70s as well as a woman in her 80s. They both died from COVID. And also there was a Green River woman in her 50s who died recently from COVID-19. And that is the death that was not included in the state's count yet. But those were the 3 recent local deaths. And as of this afternoon, Memorial Hospital of Sweetwater County reported that it is currently caring for 6 COVID-19 patients. Speaking of hospitals, thankfully our hospitals are still hanging in there. They've not been overrun yet, but obviously they are getting full and dealing with more patients and more COVID-related hospitalizations. But several hospitals around the state are really struggling right now, having lots of patients and just trying to keep up with everything, especially because of the increase in COVID cases. So to address that surge, Governor Mark Gordon said that he has authorized a 3-pronged approach to provide additional support to Wyoming medical facilities. So the state will be receiving resources from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, as well as the Wyoming National Guard, and through traveling medical staff that are contracted using CARES Act funds that the governor directed to the Wyoming Hospital Association. So there will be 2 health and medical task force teams from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services National Disaster Medical System. They will be deploying to Campbell County Memorial Hospital in Gillette and Cheyenne Regional Medical Center to help the medical providers there. The Wyoming National Guard is also going to be providing support by helping out hospitals with non-medical things that they're able to do so that the healthcare professionals there can focus on the medical work and on their patients. There will be 10 Guard members who will be assigned to Cheyenne Regional Medical Center in Cheyenne. And then the traveling medical staff that is contracted through the CARES funds, they have begun to arrive in Wyoming to help with the state's COVID-19 response and to help different hospitals. And as many as 50 additional personnel are expected to be deployed throughout the state by the end of the week to provide more staffing relief and to ease the burden on other hospital resources. So right now, as you've seen, the focus is on the hospital in Cheyenne, also in Campbell County, as they are some of the most in need, the most overwhelmed and needing help and assistance right now. But there has been that help sent to them, and then these other helpers who will go throughout the state to help other hospitals in need right now as well. Back on a local level, obviously there's been a lot of discussion the last few days about the local mask mandate. That is a continuing discussion. We're continuing to hear a lot of feedback from people's opinions and from county leaders and people responding to that. Today, both the Rock Springs Police Department and the Green River Police Department released statements. These were from Chief Dwayne Pacheco in Rock Springs and Chief Tom Jarvie in Green River. They both released statements of the department's responses to the local mask mandate. Obviously, yesterday we heard from the county attorney and the county sheriff's office and their responses. Caleb mentioned that in his video. All of these responses are up on rocketmire.com, so you can read them fully and see what people have said. The county attorney and the sheriff both made it clear that they would not be enforcing the mask mandate. Both police departments today in their statements did not strictly say that as directly as the others did, that they would not enforce it. The police departments noted, they both said, the role of peace officers is not to control the communities they serve, but to work in concert with those communities to promote public safety. They both said that they've been working with Dr. Jean Station and they realize that she is acting out of concern for the community and trying to do what is best to protect public health and safety. And the police departments also just encouraged everyone to be considerate of each other through this time. The Rock Springs Police Department specifically said, the men and women of the Rock Springs Police Department will be diligent in answering all calls for service, including those regarding the failure to wear face coverings. Our officers will utilize the utmost discretion regarding enforcement of this order, and any action we take will be consistent with the law as it is currently defined. Similarly, the Green River Police Department said, we must and will take all of these factors into consideration if we receive complaints regarding this health order. The factors they're speaking of were that many people will wear masks, many people have reasons not to wear masks, and they would have exemptions underneath the order. So they said they'll take those into consideration if they receive complaints. They also said any action we take will be consistent with the law as it is currently defined. So those were the statements from the police departments. Again, you can read those fully on rocketminer.com. So those are the main updates regarding COVID, where things are at with that. I would just continue to encourage everyone to be respectful and kind and do what you can to protect other people and to show love and compassion. And then I did want to mention some of the Christmas events that are coming up. Some of the things that we've heard about recently that are local Christmas traditions that are coming back this year. There have had to be some adjustments and changes to make things safe for everyone, but I'm sure everyone will be excited that these events are still happening. So first, Santa Saturdays will be back. Santa Claus will be in downtown Rock Springs. He will be in a new location this year. He'll be at the gazebo That's on the corner of D and Broadway. That's right across from our newspaper office. It's the cute little gazebo they have set up and decorated. So he will be there on Saturdays. If the weather is really bad and he's not able to be outside, then he'll be in the Broadway Theater lobby. That will be starting November 28th and will go through December 19th, and he'll be there on Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Downtown Rock Springs did note that masks are required, and they asked everyone to please remember to practice social distancing during that event. Another classic Christmas local event coming up is the YWCA of Sweetwater County's Festival of Trees, happening at Commerce Bank. There will be trees and baskets and decor and lots of different festive, Christmassy themed things that will be available and up for auction and up for people to look at and enjoy. So there will be in-person viewing of the trees and of the decor and everything. It will be set up in Commerce Bank. It's being set up this week, and it'll be ready to have people come and start viewing that on November 23rd, going through December 3rd. And people can go to Commerce Bank in person to view the trees and everything else that's available. But then the auction itself will be online this year. So there's a website that you can go to. It's aesbid.org/YWCA-tree20. So you can go to that website and get registered to be part of the auction. You can get a look at some of the items that are available. They've already started adding some, and they'll keep adding more as more become available and set up. So you can see what's part of the auction on there, look through it, and that will be where you can place bids and enter to win some of these trees and other decorations and things. Also, everyone who registers at that site to be a part of the auction before 3 p.m. tomorrow will be entered in a drawing to win a special hot cocoa gift basket that they'll be giving away. So go check out that site, get registered to be part of the auction, and you could win that gift basket. And then, as I said, the trees and everything will be available to go see and for people to vote on their favorite tree for the People's Choice Awards. Those will be up in Commerce Bank, ready to be viewed on November 23rd. So those are just a few of the local Christmas events that are coming up. Some changes have been made for COVID to keep everyone safe, so please be aware of those changes. Please be respectful of the wishes of the people who are organizing those events so that everything can be safe, people can stay healthy, and still enjoy these Christmas events. Those are the updates that I have for you today. Thank you for listening, and I hope that everyone has a good evening.